Hello everyone, it's Brett here, Lionheart84, and we're featuring, I've just got 4 more citrus out of the summer house, just for a little bit of attention, a post-winter inspection, repotting if I've got enough compost and pots, and just to have a look, see if they need any spraying for anything. And all 4 of these, the reason I'm doing these in one video, these are all 4 more navel oranges. It's amazing how they vary in condition and health, considering they're all navel oranges. The first 2 we're looking at here on the left, these 2 are both lanes late, and you can see there's quite a big difference in appearance and structure and health. This one here is extremely nice and dark green looking and much bushier lower down. It's got a nice form and shape to it, and it's got plenty of new growth appearing, and it has got a few flower buds on it. The one next to it is quite a tall, although it's got a good stem at the bottom, it's quite a tall, thin, sparse, yellowy looking plant. So I think it's really badly in need of repotting, but interestingly it's got a lot of flower buds on it. Now sometimes this can be due to stress. Sometimes the plants that are more stressed produce more flower buds than the ones that are actually healthy, although the plant actually looks fairly healthy. It's just simply not in particularly good condition. Now I could trim some of this growth off, but I think actually it will probably branch out quite happily once it's repotted. So I'm probably going to take some of the old compost off and see what sort of state it's in, because I have a feeling the roots on this one are going to be really healthy, and the roots on this one are going to be probably not very not healthy in comparison. I think they're going to be quite dried and sort of rather than a nice bright whitish yellow, I think they're going to be a sort of a mustardy brown colour. And those, as I said, are both lanes late. Now this particular navel orange here, this one is a Cara Cara. I think I've got 2 Cara Cara. One I originally got from Italy and one that turned up from Garden. And again, this one's a little bit more yellowy looking than the first one, but nevertheless it still looks pretty good, considering it's been an unheated summer house over winter, and the temperatures did drop down to about -4 during the really cold spell in there. So despite the cold, it's looking very healthy, and I'm fairly sure that once it's repotted and fed, that it's going to recover quite nicely and green up. And again, it's got quite a lot of flower buds on it, nice and early in the year, so there is a possibility that I could allow it, if it sets any fruit, to perhaps carry 1 orange and see what size it gets to. The one advantage of these fruiting in about April is it does mean there's a good chance of getting edible size fruits by about December, January, if you can keep the plants warm enough to for the fruits to maintain in good condition over winter, because I think one of the problems is they get too cold and the fruits don't develop any further and they dry out on the plant. The 4th one, which is a smaller plant here, this is another navel orange, and this variety is Newhall. You can see that. And these aren't particularly easy to get in the UK anymore, just lucky that as time's gone by I've stumbled across them. And again, this one's a little bit sparse, not a particularly large looking plant. The stem's a lot thinner than the others. However, like the others, it does have some flower buds appearing on it. There's no reason to remove flower buds from your citrus particularly, because what tends to happen if you remove flowers, the plants often will try and flower again, and that exhausts them more. What you don't want them to be doing is carrying fruits at this size. They're not really capable of holding and developing any fruits. These plants are much too small. Even 1 fruit's like to be a problem. If you can imagine a giant navel orange hanging on these tiny little branches, it's not going to do the plant any good at all. But there's no real harm in letting them flower, because contrary to popular belief, it doesn't normally exhaust them. What it does is encourage the growth hormones on the plant, and then it will focus, once the flowers have dropped, it should focus on new growth and build the strength of the plant. All I'm going to do on these is literally just trim off any dead little twigs like that, but really they've got no dieback on them at all. So I said, if I've got enough pots and enough compost, I'm going to pop these all up into that 911 type mix, sorry, 511 mix I've got, which is basically 5 parts of, I use orchid bark because it's a little bit finer and it's a bit harder than the regular potting bark, because I don't like it to be ridiculously coarse, because the roots are still going to find their way through it. And normally 1 part perlite and 1 part of an ericaceous or peat based compost, or even pure peat if you're still happy to use it and can get it. And then I normally add a little bit of fertiliser, and you can, should you so wish, you could add some sand to that as well. Although I think with the orchid bark I probably don't need to add sand, because the perlite and the orchid bark should keep the compost fairly open and free draining, but still retain some moisture in hot weather. And I normally mix some granular fertiliser in with the compost when I pot them as well. So to run through them again, the 2 on the left are both Lane's Late. The one here is a Cara, and the one on the right is a Newhall. So they're all varieties of Navel Orange. So thank you for watching the video, I much appreciate it. Please give me a thumbs up. You're welcome to share the video. I think anybody be interested. Please subscribe to my channel, and remember to click on the bell if you'd like to know when new videos come out. I'll catch up with you all soon. Brett out for now.